Bear says, tell everyone I said, so say we all.
So say we all!
A few years ago, we were talking, and I called Tom Zarek a villain, and you gave me an earful. So,
you don't want to go there, do you?
Well, especially in terms of the mutiny. That's how it.
Right.
You know. Would you like to explain your side of the conversation?
I'll cover your ass. About that. He was far from being a negative character. He was really thinking about the future of humanity in his own right. I never took him as a dark character. And it was amazing what went down. The fact that Richard Hatch came on to play a character that not only, I didn't know how long we were going to be on the show. Nobody really knew what the story was about. But you did an extraordinary job. I think it's the best acting you've ever done. Everybody out of the water. The only thing I would say is that, I don't know about you, but I think about the world, I think about where we are and where we're going to be. How everybody seems to want to blame everybody, except looking at themselves and becoming more honest where we all are, what we've all co-created right now in terms of the economy. We're all responsible for where we are. And I think Battlestar was so great about it that, you know, it kind of raised some really powerful political issues, and it didn't go into it, you know, in detail, but it certainly touched upon it. But it was a very powerful issue for me, which is how easy democracy can be lost if we don't make our leaders accountable, if we don't have a voice in our government, if we don't stand up and speak our truths. And it's just interesting, after kind of a post-9/11 circumstance, you know, fear is prevalent. There's this unconscious thing of wanting to go hide, wanting to be taken care of, want the government to fix everything. And so often, when we turn our power over to government, even good people end up doing bad things for good reasons. And I just think that was the greater issue. And for me, you know, I just found it interesting that anybody that challenged the government was naturally thought to be the bad guy. Somehow we're challenging authority. And I thought, you know, in our culture, when somebody has the guts, the courage to stand up and challenge authority, most people get uncomfortable. Most people get threatened. Most people want to tell the guy to go away. And I thought, you know, Tom Zarek's kind of an interesting guy because here is a wounded idealist, broken idealist who has lost hope because he has seen one government after another go to the left or to the right, which is what happens in a post-apocalyptic 9/11 type scenario. Governments drift left to right. They become dictatorial, and they think they know what is right for everybody. Democracy is not an easy institution. It can easily be lost, and I think you saw that on Battlestar Galactica. And I think what I liked about Tom Zarek, regardless of his, you know, struggle with his demons, his lack of faith in authority and lack of faith in government officials, and for very good reason, by the way. I am great, man. I will have my revenge. No. I thought that's got to be the next episode. Tom Zarek's revenge, you know. But anyway, so the issue, it wasn't just Tom Zarek. I mean, it touched that character, and I think all these actors could talk about that. For some uncanny reason, sometimes we get cast playing roles that somehow mirror and touch areas inside of us that we're going through at a particular time in our life. And I think these roles that we play touch me. I'm sure all of you can talk for yourselves about that, but it touched me in a very deep, profound way because I've always kind of been the political revolutionary. I think all actors, all artists are the ones who step out of the box, who look at the future, who are prophetic, you know, who are willing to get up sometimes and break all the status quo, break the small boxes, and maybe help to free people's minds. That's what great artists do does. But I just thought Tom Zarek was challenging the government, had every reason not to trust them, and he paid a huge price for having challenged government, spent 25 years in prison, and here he is on the Battlestar, and guess what? Here's another government that's drifting to a dictatorial relationship, suspending Congress, suspending, you know, building consensus. And then I thought, how interesting that everybody still, under those scenarios, made me the bad guy. And by the way,
you did machine gun the form of the 12.
interesting in this world how often I think we misconstrue who the good guys and who the bad guys are. And so often, the good guys that we think are doing all the right things are the guys that are really screwing it up for everybody. You know, so I just think it was a bigger issue for me, and I always wanted to make a bigger statement about that. It really wasn't just about Tom Zarek. It was really about the fact that I think, in this day and age, we all need to stand up, and we need to become accountable. We need to challenge our government. We need to make them accountable. And then we need to be responsible, be a big part of the equation. Not only for the problems that are happening, the economy, everything is part of all of us co-creating this, but also getting out of it is going to be all of us participating, not just the government or any one person is going to fix it. It's really all of us working together.
My question is for Dr. Grazer about the science of BSG. One of the most interesting things to me was the FTL drive. Is that even remotely possible in real life?
Nope. The storyteller, especially in our medium, what a storyteller aims to do is create more oh wow moments and fewer oh please moments. So, you know, a lot of our crowd are technically literate, and when they see an obvious gap, you go from being immersed in the storyteller's vision to being a person sitting in a room saying, hang on. So my job in a lot of cases was to take something and make it somewhat plausible. Now, in the book, we talk about the FTL drive, and I say, you know, the state of the art in the FTL, but right now we know of no way to travel faster than light. And in fact, I actually was on an episode of the Universe on History Channel, and we talked about, the episode was called Science Fiction, Science Fact, and they asked me about FTL, and my comment was, and they actually, the director was a big fan of our show, so he did this slide, and it actually made it to the final cut, and I said, when it comes to faster than light travel, traditionally physicists have been speaking with one voice. No way, so say we all. So no, but we just do our best to make it look good. And there are some physical basis behind what you see. I have submitted to the writer's description of how it works, which even includes the special effect that we've seen to date. But right now, we're not looking at going FTL anytime soon, if at all.